Saddlers fans, welcome to another pre-match show, joined by my colleagues of called Tom and Paul. Gentlemen, do you know what? This morning I woke up, I was eating my cereal of choice, and I thought, what a joyous day. We're third in the league, something we never thought we would ever achieve this season, and today we have an opportunity to solidify our season. Huge changes, 4 in total. How are we looking?
Yeah, those changes. I mean, it's always great to wake up positive, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's always nice.
Someone's had the cornflakes and Shannon's in a Ross Tierney, hasn't he?
But it's always nice to wake up positive, and I mean, the weather's not as nice as it has been in the last couple of weeks, but that doesn't take anything away because this is going to be bouncing, and the sun hopefully will come out a little bit late. But you mentioned those 4 changes there. Tommy Simkin keeps his place in goal. We're going with Connor Barrett, and then the 2 new faces, but 2 faces coming to the defence of David Kagwe, who comes back into the starting 11 for Oshie McKenty, and then Harry Williams comes back in for club captain Donovan Daniels, Taylor Allen back in defence, and then Liam Gordon over there at the left wing back. 3 midfield, Ron Sturt comes back into it. George Hall makes his first league start since Port Vale away back in December. Obviously, the Saddlers went on to win that game 1-0, and Jamie Jellis is also in there, and then it's a front 2 of Jamil Matt and Ellis Harrison. I think that midfield 3 dynamic, it's 2 players in there who, as 8, can really set the tone today and can really set the tempo. We were just saying off camera, Si, about what George can bring to this side, and I think, perhaps he's somebody that we've been missing. I know Jammer did an interview with Sky Sports recently, and he said when you lose the likes of George and Jack Earing in particular, who can certainly set the standards of what we expect from a midfield and a pace setters, we have missed those. So to see George back in there today and hopefully set that pace is going to be a real positive one for all of us, Paul.
Yeah, it's great to see him back in the starting lineup. Obviously, he's been building up his minutes, hasn't he, George Hall? So he's ready to start now, and hopefully he can just bring that bit of magic, to sprinkle a bit of stardust that he did before he got his injury. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Ellis Harrison getting another start, back-to-back games. Obviously came back from injury, he was thrown straight in at Barrow. A bit of a tough one as the Saddlers as an attacking force. Were sort of building in that game, didn't quite have the chances, and then he had 1 big chance at the end of the first half. But what I'm hoping to see from him is now he's got some minutes under his belt. He'll be ready to start. He'll be a bit sharp. He'll have another week's training on his belt, so he will be looking sharp. And I can see him really bringing his experience to the table as well. He's got that know-how. He knows what it takes to win big football matches at crunch times in the season. So I think having him and Jamil Matt up top could be a real asset for us, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Ellis Harrison as well. I think he could be a big difference in this final 4 games. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think as well, Harry Williams coming back in, have we missed that extra physicality in defence?
Yeah, I think so. You look at, I'll go back to the Port Vale game, for example, here. The goals came from 2 long throws, obviously, and then there was the trying to pass out from the back quickly, and it just got caught, which caused the penalty. But the 2 long throws, I think, were a real disappointment on the day, with the goals coming from those. And when you've got somebody like Harry, who is readily available to go and attack anything that comes into the box, I think we have missed him. And I think he will have been disappointed to have come out of the side, but obviously there's a plethora of defensive options there for Matt Sadler to choose from, and maybe it's just been about having the right time for Harry to come back into it, and today is the game where he has come back into it, and I fully anticipate he will take that chance again, as he has done throughout the time that he's been at the football club. And it's great to see him back involved, and fingers crossed he goes on to have a real solid game. He'll be in the back of that, the middle of that back 3. We've seen him create that role into and make it his own. So it's great to see him back in there, and fingers crossed he can go back to what we were at the start of the season. I know that the last time we kept a clean sheet against in the league, which was against Gillingham away, Harry was involved in that one. So fingers crossed we can keep ourselves a clean sheet here today.
Yeah, I think a clean sheet's massively important. It gives you that base to build off, doesn't it? So I think really important the Saddlers try and keep a clean sheet today. But Harry Williams back in, really good to see him, and it shows the strength and depth we've got in this squad, doesn't it? We've got so many options with the players that are coming back from injury. I think it's only Jack Earing who still remains on the sidelines currently, but again he's getting very, very close. So Matt Sadler's got options, and then it's important that the whole squad will all play their part. He said that, and now it's Harry Williams' turn, so hopefully he takes his opportunity.
And we talk about positivity, we talk about energy, and that cereal tasted extra special this morning, gentlemen, because one other thing that's going to be really positive today, 7,000 plus expected here again.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely incredible to see the take-up that we've had for the ticket offer that's been put on. We worked really hard behind the scenes just to make that one work, and we wanted to make sure it was the right kind of offer. And we've seen the fantastic uptake that we've had in other offers that we've put on over the duration of the season. And I think to have 3 home games on the spin where it's been over 7,000, as of this morning it was at 6,900, but that was really early on this morning. So we will get up and over 7,000, maybe towards 7,200, 7,300. And I think when we were looking last night, Paul, the lower tier was completely sold out. 3 blocks in the middle tier were sold out. There's blocks in the pallet track standard sold out as well. And it's just great to see. And I think, everybody's really buying into it. And, don't underestimate the difference in that the energy can really make in that extra 5% when you're out there on the pitch as a player. As a member of staff, you can really feel it when things are going right when you're in the stands and everything like that, and when the songs start from the first minute and last all the way through to the 90th minute, they really can make a massive difference. And sometimes I understand that if the football isn't going the way you want it to, and things can drop within the crowd, but never underestimate what that one song can do, what that one chant, what one little bit of energy can do to change something when you're out there on the pitch. And that can lead into something that players may not have tried before, or go back to basics into what we were doing earlier on in the season. And to see, like you say, Si over 7,000 again is absolutely incredible.
Huge.
Lost for words with the Sanders fans. Really am. I mean, I think the last 2 away games as well, they're sold out. So the support is immense. And like you say, Tom, like you allude to, that the energy from there, especially in front of that big stand, is absolutely massive. And you can really suck the ball into the net. I know it's a cliche, but you really can. And I think as well, the fans have bought into playing country roads at the start. I think I've noticed the atmosphere pick up even before kick-off, and Take Me Home Country Roads plays, and they're all singing Take Me Home Winsbury Road. So again, it's getting that energy right from the off and inspiring the players before the kick-off. So hopefully more of the same.
And I do get asked this very often, is how loud is it down there at the dugout when the fans are hot? And let me tell you, the managers hear it, the players hear it, and we can feel it. So Saddlers fans, bring all that energy again here today. It's a huge game. We can't wait. And in the words of Triple H, it's time to play the game.